Since returning to office last month, U.S. President Donald Trump has taken aggressive steps in reshaping the nation's trade policies. One of the most striking features of his new approach is a series of tariffs and a growing number of threats to impose additional levies on a wide range of imported goods. These moves are part of his broader effort to renegotiate trade deals and push for policy changes on the global stage, impacting countries and industries across the globe. These tariffs vary in scope, from universal tariffs on all foreign imported goods, to sector-specific levies targeting industries like automobiles, steel, semiconductors, and pharmaceuticals. Trump's unpredictable approach has left businesses and governments uncertain about what is to come next. First up, the automobile industry, a sector that's crucial to the global economy. Trump has raised the possibility of imposing tariffs of 100% or more on foreign vehicles, including electric cars. With imports from Canada and Mexico alone totaling more than $202 billion in 2024, this is no small threat. Countries like Canada export crude oil, car parts, and finished vehicles, playing a pivotal role in North America's auto manufacturing chain. In factories across North America, including plants in Mexico like Nissan's production lines in Aguascalientes, workers are busy assembling parts that may soon face higher costs due to these tariffs. As the world moves toward electric vehicles, the impact on companies like BYD, China's leading automaker, could also be severe. At auto shows in cities like Shanghai, where new electric vehicle models like the BYD Seagull are being showcased, the future of these global supply chains hangs in the balance. Next, we turn to the metals industry. Trump has threatened to impose new tariffs on imported steel and aluminum, materials that are essential to a wide array of industries, from construction to aerospace to automotive manufacturing. The U.S. is the world's largest importer of aluminum, and it's also a major importer of steel, with over half of those imports coming from countries like Canada, Mexico, and Brazil. In factories like those in Farrell, Pennsylvania, where steel is smelted and shaped, these tariffs could cause significant disruptions. Global producers, from Germany's U.S. Steel to companies operating in Brazil, are bracing for the impact. Sparks fly as steel is molded in molten furnaces, and workers are on high alert, knowing that these levies could reshape their markets. Moving on to semiconductors, which are at the heart of the modern tech industry. President Trump has targeted Taiwan's Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company, the world's largest contract chip maker, as a key focus for his tariffs. Semiconductors are critical for everything from smartphones to electric vehicles, and the U.S. is deeply dependent on imports from Taiwan, where TSMC generates 70% of its revenue from North American customers. Companies like NVIDIA, based in California, rely on these chips for products like their Blackwell AI semiconductors. With China and Taiwan already locked in a tense geopolitical rivalry, Trump's trade actions could escalate matters, disrupting the global supply of these critical components. And lastly, Trump has turned his eye toward pharmaceuticals, an industry that has long been exempt from tariffs. The U.S. imports a large portion of its medicines, and now, the president has floated the idea of imposing tariffs on pharmaceutical supplies, including life-saving medications. This change could have a far-reaching impact on the healthcare system. Pharmaceutical manufacturers, like UCare in China, could see their supply chains affected by these new trade policies. These medications are often produced in countries with low manufacturing costs and are essential for U.S. pharmacies and healthcare providers. As Americans visit pharmacies like Walgreens and CVS, the rising prices on these imported drugs may soon be felt on both sides of the counter. While the intention behind these tariffs is to protect American jobs and bring manufacturing back to U.S. soil, the ramifications of such actions are still unclear. Whether it's the auto industry, metals, semiconductors, or pharmaceuticals, Trump's aggressive trade tactics are sending shockwaves through global markets. As businesses wait to see what new tariffs or trade restrictions might come next, one thing is clear: the trade wars that started under Trump's first term are far from over. As industries scramble to adapt, the balance of global trade could shift, affecting everything from the cost of cars to the availability of life-saving medicine. Whether you're in a factory, a pharmacy, or at the negotiating table, the future of trade remains uncertain, and the only certainty is change. The world watches as President Trump presses forward with his tariff agenda, changing the rules of the game in a way that could redefine the global economy for years to come. That's the latest from the front lines of international trade policy. Stay tuned for more updates.